Is it worth upgrading from the SAUCONY Endorphin Speed 2? So welcome back to the channel. Today I have a first run impression of the SAUCONY Endorphin Speed 3. Now I ran in the second iteration of the SAUCONY Speed series. This shoe was a great shoe for me, and it's probably one that I recommend the most to people that are looking for a shoe that they can do their training and racing in it. The new iteration has the same sort of Power Run PB midsole, which is a really good midsole for both training and racing, and a nylon plate which offers a bit of stability and pop, but it doesn't have the sort of firmness of a carbon fibre plate, so it's a bit more suited for daily training. I haven't run in it just yet. I'm going to take it on my first run this afternoon. I've got a 22 kilometre run planned in the shoe. I'll just quickly go over some of the specifications. So we've got the same 8mm drop that we had in the second iteration. This time there is a little bit more Power Run PB in the midsole, so I think it's gone up half a millimetre in the heel and half a millimetre in the forefoot. So we got 36 in the heel, dropping to a 28mm in the forefoot. So it's sort of in that middle to maximal cushioned shoe. The nylon plate, which we had in the previous version, has been redesigned into an S shape, which apparently has made the shoe feel a little bit more poppy. I'll be interested to see how that's affected the ride. The upper has also seen a change and an improvement, completely redesigned. It's a single layer mesh upper now, and the lacing system seems fairly similar to the second iteration. It comes in at £165 in the UK. The outsole has slightly changed compared to the previous, and yeah, it's a few grams heavier, but only like 2 or 3 grams heavier. I think 229 grams in my UK size 8. The next thing to do is to take it out on a run. So I'm out for my first run in the Speed 3s. This is my last run of the week. It's a Sunday when I'm filming this, and on the plan is 22 kilometers at an easy / steady pace. It'll probably be somewhere in between. I like to call these sort of steezy runs. Best way to describe it is like an easy run, but plus 5 or 10%. And just as I move down the distances from the marathon, I'm trying to do a bit more steezy running instead of just easy plods all the time. So yeah, about 4:15 a kilometre I expect today's run will be. 130 kilometres for the week this week, which is about 30 kilometres less than the previous week. It's a sort of slow taper into my next race, which is the A6 10k, which is in 7 days time. So that's the plan for today's run. Sort of a longer run, but an easy / steady effort. It'll be a good test for the Speed 3s, because it's pretty much the pace that I find the Speed 2s to be most comfortable at. So I just went through the first 5k in the Speed 3s. The first thing I want to talk about is the comfort of this shoe. Just like the Speed 2, the comfort is excellent. Straight out the box, it feels good. The upper sits really nicely on top of your foot. It's got a insole in it which is nice and soft, so that step-in feel is really good. And from all the people I've spoken to about the SAUCONY Speed, all the people I've recommended it to, not one person has complained about the comfort of this shoe. The only other shoe that I can think of that fits and feels as comfortable as this shoe is the Speed 2 and the Hoka Mach 4, which was my favourite shoe of 2021. So yeah, that's a really, really good start. No hot spots, no sort of pain in the arch. There's plenty of room in the toe box for my toes to spread out, and yeah, the heel area
feels nice and structured as well. I can feel there's cushioning there, but there's not too much to make it like heavy or feel heavy. It feels really light and poppy on foot. So yeah, credit to Saucony for comfort. They've done it again. It's got to be a 10 out of 10 in terms of comfort. Okay, so I'm now just short of 13 kilometers in the Saucony Speed 3s. Next thing to talk about is the ride. So the new nylon plate in this iteration is S-curved, which is different to the previous two iterations. If I'm totally honest, can't really tell the difference between the ride and sort of foot strike in the Speed 3 and the Speed 2. It feels very familiar, very similar to the Speed 2, which for me is actually a really good thing because I really got on well with it. Saucony say on the website it makes you feel a bit more poppy. I wouldn't say that's necessarily true with this iteration, but what I have noticed is it has much more of a sort of rocker-like feel. So when you land on the midfoot, it feels like it is really smooth on transitioning you up onto your toes, which is great for a daily trainer. In terms of the midsole, the way I describe them is sort of on a spectrum of soft on the very left all the way up to firm on the right. And the Power Run PB foam that Saucony use is definitely to the left side of the spectrum, so soft. And if it didn't have that nylon plate, it probably would be right at the very left side of the soft to firm spectrum. The nylon plate just offers a little bit more stability, so I'd probably position it not quite in the middle, but to the softer side of things in terms of that midsole feel, which for me, for a daily trainer, is spot on, because it's not too soft that you feel like you're sinking into the foam, but it's not too firm that you're still going to get that sort of nice cushioned protection, but also good balance between being responsive. So when you do want to pick up the pace, like I am now, it feels like it gives you something back.
Just got back from my first run in the Speed 3s, 22 kilometers at 4:14 per kilometer. Straight out the box, it is a very comfortable shoe, just like the Speed 2 was. So I'm just going to summarize this video as to whether I would be personally recommending upgrading to the 3, or is it worth just picking up the 2 at, say, a discounted price. Just trying to think of some downsides to this shoe. It's a really difficult one. It's lightweight, it feels really comfortable, it's fast, it's poppy. Maybe the colorway is not for everyone. I would say if you've run in this shoe and you got on really well with it, and the version 2 you have is sort of coming to the end of its life, you've put a lot of miles into it, the foam is sort of compressed a little bit now, I would say it's definitely worth upgrading to the 3. I was trying to think of how I would be able to put a number on, like, quantifying the difference. If I gave this shoe a rating out of 10, I probably would have given it, say, an 8.5 out of 10 last year. And the new version, I would say I would give it maybe a 9, just short of a 9 out of 10. Oh, there's a really loud lorry going past, apologies for the noise. Speed 2, 8.5 out of 10. And the Speed 3, maybe 8.8 out of 10. Not quite a 9. So yeah, the difference between the 2 is not huge, but this is definitely an improvement. If you've never run in the Saucony Speeds before, then yeah, go for the 3 if you've got the choice between the 2. But then again, if you can find the 2 at a discounted price, there really isn't a huge amount of difference between the 2 versions, if that makes sense. I thoroughly enjoyed my first run in the Endorphin Speeds. I'll give you a more updated review after I put some more miles into it. I'll do that after 100 kilometers. And before you go, if you liked the hat, these are by Team Varga. You can get 15% off with Ben is running. This is my favorite one. It's a sort of short peak version. Yeah, you can wear it forward or backwards. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more running related videos. Any questions you have about the Speed 3 or 2, drop them down below and I'll happily get back to you. But until next time, aspire to run, run to inspire, and we'll see you again soon.